minor adjustments for major progress. There we are. What up, what up, what up? I had some technical difficulties earlier, so please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Did a whole 40-minute video. It was on my other channel, my other YouTube channel that I don't use for some odd reason. But we here now, we back. We adjusted to the storm, and yeah. What up, peoples? It's Bugsy Licks here, as you can see, in the place to be. No cap, no filter, no phoniness. We just here live and direct, and we just going over some policy concerning XRP and why XRP has always been the chosen one. It's very strange to think of how far ahead some companies or some countries are than the average person. The average person's working 9 to 5, just trying to make ends meet on a regular basis daily, but countries have councils and panels of people that sit around drafting up the next 10 to 100 years for them. So with a crypto company like Ripple, they have the same. They have board of directors, they have staff meetings, they have planners, they have designers, marketing, people that came from other companies that they already made into billion-dollar companies, et cetera, et cetera. So when we get the news, a lot of times we form our own opinion off of who, what, where, when, and how, but we're receiving that information from an external source. Now, if more companies today had like a live channel where you can like kind of log into their board meetings and see what they're thinking or what they're plotting or what they're planning, then probably terms like conspiracy theory wouldn't be the norm, and people could feel rest assured that the information that they're hearing is 100% with no filter. With XRP, with the proof that's been coming out lately that XRP has always been the one, is the fact that right in the midst of the Russian-Ukraine conflict, the CEO of Ripple XRP comes out stating, we're not going to help Russia with sanctions. Now, why would that be valid information? Why would that be some breaking news? Why would that be so important to what this video is about? Well, that's just how propaganda works. When every eye is on a certain topic, Russia, Ukraine, and you get airtime on a major television network, or even you have a large following on Twitter, it's the best time to express dominance, express power, or express some type of what is it called? Correlation between two companies. So with Russia having a lot of sanctions against them, they're looking for alternative resources, alternative ways to move money around, alternative ways to get around U.S. and world sanctions. So with the CEO of Ripple having already orchestrated a solution for the SWIFT banking system, which is the major banking system of the United States. They've put as many sanctions as they possibly could on Russia without crippling the world economy. Right at the same juncture of that, Brad Garlinghouse, who's the CEO of Ripple, steps in saying, hey, we're not going to help Russia with any of these sanctions. Why would they say that? Did we think that Ripple was powerful enough to even help a government with sanctions or to get around sanctions? We in the crypto community might have thought it possible because their technology is supposed to be like a layer 2 solution for the SWIFT system. Now, if you don't know what the SWIFT system is, you might want to go to Wikipedia. I'll give you a little bit of a synopsis of what the SWIFT system is. Any transaction in the entire world between country and country, between currency of that country and currency of this country, and banking system of this country, banking system of this country, funnels through the SWIFT system. Just picture it like some mega computer with different ledger points different debit and credit points, different transaction features that cross borders around the world. So when you hear the term sanctions, you may not know what it means. You may just know that it's some type of penalty from how it's used in context, but you may not know what you're hearing. Sanctions are cutting countries out of that global financial process. So with Russia, it would be stopping them or limiting them from being able to transact in US dollars around the world, or in their rubles transferred into US dollars to do things like buy oil, buy diamonds, buy gold, buy securities, buy stocks, whatever that helps their country run. Those sanctions would prevent them from helping their country run, and that would be through the SWIFT system. So when Ripple was born, and when XRP was born in around 2013, when XRP was first used, XRP's goal was to be a cross-border payment system solution. So that means cross-border. That means, I don't know why I'm doing my hands like this, but that means across overseas, South America, Africa, Philippines, Russia, Middle East, wherever there's borders and wherever they're trying to transact money, that Ripple using a crypto called XRP would be able to cross borders more fast, more efficiently, and more effectively than the SWIFT system. They didn't want to really replace the SWIFT system because that's a daunting task. We're talking about a system that moves trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, but they wanted to be able to have a play in that. So multi-billions of dollars would be their slice of the pie to move around the world. And if at any point they surpass the SWIFT system, then they would cross that bridge when it came. So with the CEO of Ripple, stating that they weren't going to help Russia usurp, any sanctions, that's an important thing, because how would a company even have the power to, or the ability to help another a country usurp sanctions? That's pretty much saying that you're above the government in certain aspects. So what we know about Ripple is that they're currently engulfed in a lawsuit with the SEC. You heard it right, the SEC, one of the biggest financial government bodies within the United States that regulates securities. So they're engulfed in an ongoing lawsuit that's been going on for about 2 years now with the SEC, over whether they were selling securities, XRP, crypto, as a security or not. Recently, the judge ruled in both parties' favor. There hasn't been a settlement reached. There hasn't been a summary judgment reached. It's just ruling in both parties' favor. Recently, the Ripple, who owns XRP, has won a fair notice defense that the SEC was trying to strike down. They were trying to get rid of this defense. They were saying, no, we don't want them to be able to use no fair notice defense. And so they were striking it down. What a fair notice defense would be is if I have a company and I'm doing something that has a gray area to it, whether I don't know if it's legal or not, the SEC is supposed to be able to issue a fair notice defense that says, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. No, they're not going to say that, but they are going to say, stop what you're doing. It's illegal. These are the way to bring it back into legality, into, being illegal, or we're going to fine you, or we're going to, shut you down. And so they didn't issue this from 2013 till 2018, while Ripple was in communication with them, was in talks with them, and was even questioning them on whether some of the things that they were doing was legal. So if me as a company and my fancy attorneys don't know if what we're doing fully meets the scope of the law, and we come to the law, which in this case being the SEC, stating, hey, can you give us some guidance on this, and they ignore us, then that's what fair notice is about. So Ripple was arguing that, and the judge saw fit to see that that was credible argument, and they moved that forward. That's huge for Ripple, because if the judge rules that Ripple didn't get fair notice, then the case is over. And any crypto that's coming out after Ripple came out can kind of argue that same defense, and they're legal to do what they plan to do without interference from the SEC. So that'll either tie the SEC's hands when it comes to crypto, um, or we'll see how this case progresses to where they may get some stance to where they can control and regulate companies like Ripple and other crypto companies better. So as you can see, it's a really huge deal that Ripple being a company having as much power as it has, and the SEC being a government entity having as much power as it has, locking horns to see who has more power. Now that comes in line with what this video is about. Ripple was always the one. You don't hear about Bitcoin being engulfed in a SEC lawsuit. Um, Bitcoin was deemed a non-security back a few years ago, so was Ethereum, and they've been able to do what they were set out to do, spread awareness about cryptocurrency. If you didn't hear about Bitcoin going from 20,000 to 40,000 to 50,000 to 60,000, you wouldn't have heard much about crypto. If you didn't hear Ethereum doing all the things Ethereum has done with helping people buy digital art, helping people to sell digital music better, helping people to build better apps and platforms, then you wouldn't have really heard about anything about crypto. So as these being the prototype tokens, Bitcoin and Ethereum, the SEC let them play in the sandbox for this many years. I think 2018 was the biggest marketing branding for Bitcoin when it went to 20K. And ever since then, the world has been following Bitcoin, trading Bitcoin. And now with this Russian-Ukraine conflict, you're hearing that Russia may be using Bitcoin to, get around some of their sanctions. They're buying it up left and right. The Ukrainian people are buying it up left and right. You're hearing more and more about cryptocurrency through Bitcoin and Ethereum. But that doesn't mean that they're the chosen ones. That just means that they've been put out there as a catalyst for spreading information about cryptocurrency, NFTs, digital assets, et cetera, et cetera. About 2018, 2019, Ripple was number 3 on the list of most cryptocurrency platforms. It would be Bitcoin, it would be Ethereum, then it would be Ripple. Since then, the SEC's lawsuit and people losing interest, Ripple's moved further down to number 5 and 6, and I believe it's at number 7 now, behind like a Polkadot, behind like an Avalanche, and behind a Terra, or what have you. Then you got, the funny tokens like Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. Then you got some metaverse tokens like Mana. All of these sections have been able to kind of push themselves forward in your mind as far as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then what else is out there. So, but XRP is always the one. XRP is the one that's going through the lawsuit with the SEC right now. XRP CEO is the one that's saying, hey, we're not helping Russia with any of these sanctions, and we're going to abide by all government regulations and government guidelines. And XRP does have a large following on Twitter, a larger following on Twitter. I see them going more trending on Twitter with their lawsuit, or with the company Ripple, or with XRP as a token, than any other crypto out there. So don't, follow the smoking mirror so much. If you've invested in Bitcoin and you've made profit, great. If you're investing in Bitcoin now that it's up in 40K and you're trying to buy little parts and little increments of it, more power to you. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but I'm not doing that. I'm not chasing the carrot. I'm more sitting back, looking at the market, looking at where trends are going, looking at where this crypto market is headed, because with the new Joe Biden executive order, a lot of these cryptos could disappear. I know they're talking about a CBDC, which is central bank digital currency, that may make a lot of these cryptocurrencies disappear. And they're talking regulating the crypto market, which will probably happen within the same time frame as this Ripple SEC lawsuit is finalized which should be around June or July of this year, I would imagine. If not, right before November, this lawsuit should be over, and we'll have some kind of clarity on what the SEC can and cannot do with regards to both Ripple and other cryptocurrencies. So it's a very, very unique time in history. It's a very unique time financially. It's a very unique time overall with the dynamics of war, greater wars looming with Poland, and how that ties into the financial landscape of both the US, Russia, and China, how that ties into the financial landscape of the world, the SWIFT banking system that's ran the financial system of the world for the last 50, 60 years, and Ripple stepping in as a layer two solution to help alleviate some of the problems that SWIFT could not alleviate. And what I mean by that is this: SWIFT is difficult to deal with when you have to take cash over here and cash over here and trade them. So for a lot of times, banks had to have physical cash in different currencies on hand to be able to be uh, uh, to deal with liquidity. And since then, we've had liquidity issues because, as we all know, some banks don't carry the money they claim, and to transfer money from one place to another place takes piles and piles and piles of money. A lot of times to get across borders and make whatever transactions, whatever major transactions happen. Some countries' currencies get devalued before the money even makes it to wherever it's going, et cetera, et cetera. SWIFT is a outdated system that has a lot of issues with it, that we're in a more digital time now, and we need to speed up how we're processing, whether it be SWIFT or whether it be XRP transactions. So XRP came in and said, we have a solution. We have a digital asset that can move across borders. This is the time you listen clearly. Across borders within 3 seconds. Process that. So for SWIFT with banking, a lot of times with us as individuals banking, it takes us 3 to 5 days to get transactions taken care of. I don't know how much time it takes for governments to transfer money back and forth, or even for large corporations to transfer money back and forth. But we know it can take days because they're dealing in physical cash, even up to weeks. With someone carrying a suitcase from this place, flying all the way to Switzerland or Mazatlan or whatever other place, Dubai on the planet, to make those transactions happen seamlessly. With Ripple saying that they are going to be a layer two solution for the SWIFT banking system, it's a huge claim, and they've been working on it for a number of years. I even hear JP Morgan is working on a similar type technology to Ripple, which this lawsuit more than likely is giving them a lot of time to try to come up with their own solution for cross-border payments. But so far in the lead has been XRP, Ripple, in the lead with that. And I just feel like they've always been the one. Argue with me, leave comments below if you think that it's another cryptocurrency that's going to outshine Ripple, whatever the case may be. But I think they've always been the one. Okay. Side note, if you can look behind me, you might see these NFTs on this painting here. These are the part of the Rich Dad Poor Kid collection. Definitely head over to OpenSea.io, plug in Rich Dad Poor Kid, and purchase some of those art pieces out of the collection. We haven't done like major promo on it, so you're not going to see a lot of interaction. We are not an art gallery. We're not an art studio. We don't have billions and billions of dollars in investor. We're just an independent company that's putting out NFTs just like anybody else. So with your support, we'll get some of those sold and start to get the word out about them. Also, for the sake of the war in Ukraine, we put up a collection called APES for Ukraine. That's on Rarible.com. So Rarible.com /Bugsy L1X. You can go to Rarible.com/Bugsy L the number one X, and pick up some of those APES for Ukraine NFTs. And then you can, with a loud voice, purchase an NFT, put it all over your social media, and that way you'll let the world know without getting into a whole bunch of political back and forth on Facebook that you stand strong with the Ukrainian people. We put out art, so in art or picture says 1,000 words. So if you post a picture, hey, I just purchased this Apes from Ukraine NFT from Bugsy Licks, it'll let people know right away that you support the people of Ukraine without you saying anything political about Biden, without you saying anything about China, without you saying anything about the people of Ukraine or Russia. It just lets people know your stance on praying for those people in Ukraine that are going through hard times, because war is never fun for anybody. We have about 100 pieces or art pieces up on Rarible.com. Some have a Pray for Ukraine on the shirt. Some will have the Ukraine flag in the background. Some will have, Free Ukraine on the t-shirt. Some will have a saber in their hand, sunglasses on, just different caricatures representing support for Ukraine. So definitely go check those out, purchase a few, and then, post them up to let other people know, whether on Twitter or on Facebook. I think we've covered everything for right now. I mean, I really can't think of anything else outside of Ripple making that statement. We are not going to help Russia usurp the U.S. or the world NATO sanctions. I thought that was just an interesting statement, because it had to be talks behind the scenes of how dangerous it would be for a company like Ripple to partner with Russia, but there's really probably not any regulation as just a banking system or a cross-border payment system to stop that. But Ripple, with a loud voice themselves, said, we voluntarily and on our own accord, as powerful as we are not going to assist in this process. So that must have gave the U.S. government some alleviation. It definitely doesn't hurt their case against the SEC, because this would be an opportunity where the SEC could say, you see, they're helping bad actors do bad things. And Ripple voluntarily on its own is saying, we are not helping bad actors do bad things. We're going to be fully government compliant. We're going to be fully transparent. We are not assisting in any way in doing anti-government things, even though we have the power to. You dig what I'm saying? So it only goes a long way for them. I know Brad Garlinghouse, who's the CEO of Ripple, and Chris Larson, who was his partner at one point, are also mentioned in the lawsuit. So the stakes are high for them as two individuals. I don't think there's ever been a time where they've listed individuals in any of these type of lawsuits, but this is that first time that they're listing Chris Larson, Brad Garlinghouse, and the company Ripple in this lawsuit. So interesting things ahead. I believe it'll be wrapped up in the next few months, June, July. Some specialists and lawyers are saying at least by September. And then hopefully we can realize a truer value of the XRP token, and some people can end up rich who've invested in XRP from the value skyrocketing. I've heard numbers as high as $72. I've heard numbers as high as $12,000. I've even heard numbers as high as the price of Bitcoin, which would be $40,000 for one single XRP token. But only time will tell. Thank you for tuning into my channel. As always, go stream all Bugsy Licks music on all music platforms. Definitely go check out my new movie, Space Needle, The Animated Life of Bugsy Licks. It's up on YouTube right now. I'm going to take it down from YouTube soon, because now it's up on Prime Video. So if you go to Prime Video on Amazon right now and type in Space Needle, it'll come up. You can rent it or you can buy it on Amazon Prime. There's no streaming option. So just make that purchase. I think it's around $2.99 on Amazon Prime. So just buy it on Prime Video. To rent, and to buy it on Prime Video, it's $9.99. I'm gonna leave it up on YouTube for a limited time because I'm still using it as kind of a promo tool. But I definitely urge everyone to go to Prime Video and watch my new animated film, Space Needle, The Animated Life of Bugsy Licks. I want to say it's the first black animated independent film on Prime Video. So we'll hold off that claim until we can prove that. But I have yet to run into another one, so I'm definitely proud of that fact. We definitely still have the crypto art on OpenSea.io. It's Rich Dad, Poor Kid. Not Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's Rich Dad, Poor Kid. So go purchase some of the NFT art over there. And then go get that APES for Ukraine art on Rarible.com/BugsyL1X. Till next time, keep it groovy. And thank you for tuning in. And thank you for subscribing. We out.